Ladies and gentlemen, I want to use this opportunity once again to welcome you to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding. I think this is the right time for me in terms of my availability to take a quick look back on 2025 and do some reflection and some introspection as well as how we should move forward to 2026. Um, in hindsight, I want to look at 25 from the political perspective of it because, and ask Jamaicans to just open up your eyes, open up your mind, and think carefully. Whether you're a PMP, whether you're a JLP supporter, whether you don't care about politics or not, or whether you're home or whether you're living in the diaspora. Ask ourselves the question, are we satisfied with our 2025 political performance as a country under the administration of the present administration? Are we satisfied with it? Was Jamaica an affordable place for one and all in 2025? And if it is so, then we have no need to look towards 2026. But from my perspective, I know Jamaica was not in an affordable place. Jamaica was not affordable to all or to many Jamaicans. Affordability was not something many Jamaicans rejoice about. Even middle class people will tell you about how things are expensive. I want to go back to the budget speech. Minister Fable Williams made a speech about how many jobs are available. And now Jamaica is in a great economic place at the time she spoke on the budget. Now, how misleading you could be, Miss Williams. Yet you're the government that talks about your thing is based on performance, transparency, accuracy, and truthfulness. But when a politician lies and misleads a nation, it means a politician, for me, you don't respect the people you're even talking to. And ever since you made the speech, ma'am, I recognize, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, you were not, and you are not a proper fit for that ministry. That's one thing I want to speak about, and also we want to look at the campaign itself. And how both political parties campaign against each other. How both political parties campaign that the other is corrupt, the other is misleading, yes, the other party is nothing but pack of thieves and liars, and everything negative you can think of. Now, let us ask ourselves the question, Jamaicans. How well does these kind of things serve us? PMP supporters jump up to hear JLP, they call the JLP thieves and liars and corrupt. JLP supporters jump up to hear the JLP call the PMP the same thing. Now, but in reality, how well does all of that crap serve us as a people, as a nation? Where does affordability come into all of that for people? I've said it from 2024 that whichever government formed win the election and form the next government is going to have a very hard time governing the country. And 2026 in foresight presents itself to be the start of that hardship, of that hard time governance, of the difficult times for government. Quickly to look at Melissa. Melissa left us a fair warning. Fair warning. That Jamaica people needs to come together. We need to come together. It is up to us as the people of the country to force politicians into uniting the nation. Not to keep the segmented JLP and the segmented PMP, one on the left side under the colors of orange and the other one under the color of the green. That doesn't make sense anymore. Jamaicans, when you look back at 25, We are smart people. Even for those, I know some of us, a lot of us didn't go to school. A whole lot of us still didn't get to finish school. But we're still smart people. Jamaicans are street smart people. Jamaicans are survival smart. Jamaicans are existentially smart people. Even when living from a day-to-day basis, they are existentially very smart people. Government has nothing to do with that existential smarts. Government has nothing to do with the street smarts of people. Government has nothing, no role in the survival smart of people. So let us think about it. If government was playing their part in making the things more affordable for all Jamaicans, don't you think Jamaica would be a better place for us all? Ask yourself the question, Jamaicans, home and abroad. Would Jamaica be a better place for our fellow brothers and sisters? Or for all Jamaicans? It definitely would be. Also, I'd like to point out government, at every opportunity they get out, they proudly announce, proudly advertise, proudly put it out there publicly. Crime has gone down. Crime has gone down. But the economic recovery from Melissa is going to be really, really tough, and it's going to take us maybe 2 years to start to see real recovery. 26, 27, probably 28 before we start to see real recovery. Announcing that the crime rate has gone down, Mr. Prime Minister and Mr. National Security and all the government entities involved. And our murder rate has also gone down. That all may be true, sir. But the crime rate going down is a good announcement. But what would be a better announcement is what you have in place to sustain that decline. What would give people a greater sense of security and safety is what plans you have in place to secure that decline or ensure that the decline continues. Because I'm quite sure, sir, with the difficult economic times coming up ahead of us in 2026, the lives of people in Jamaica is going to get more desperate. And desperate times calls for desperate measures. Affordability has got to be the number one priority of government if you're talking about maintaining a decline in crime. Affordability, sir. The social and economic infrastructure has to be in place to make sure that you can ensure that the decline in crime continues. Because if not, Mr. National Security, I see him always trying to understand that you should be resigning pretty soon. I don't know if you are seeing the forecast that's coming up in the future, economic forecast for the country, so you're running out early. But it can also be that you're tired and you figure you're at the age of retirement. But be what it may, sir, you're well aware of the difficulty lies ahead. And you know that if the social and economic infrastructure is not put in place to create the affordability for people right across Jamaica, you know that the crime rate will not hold. Government cannot hold this crime rate through policing. Because policing alone, as a matter of fact, cannot, any criminologist will tell you this, any sociologist can tell you this. Policing alone cannot hold the economy, the decline in crime to what it is. And policing alone cannot stop it from climbing up back the ladder. Now, Mr. Prime Minister and the government of the day, since the crime rate has gone down, no, sir. Now the nation now needs to hear from you. What is it you need to put in place to make sure the crime rate keeps going down or plateaued where it is? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all my supporters for 2025, those who have gained, and for all the necessary comments, negative and positive comments. I welcome them all because, you understand, I like to, positive comments are great, negative comments are even greater because they strengthen you, they open your eyes to things that you might not have seen in someone else. And as I said, we need to come together to create a better understanding for each other. And I just want to give a big shout out to all my supporters, long-time supporters, early supporters, and the one that I gained in 2025. Thank you for the support. Let us continue to grow this channel. It may be the lone voice out there in the wilderness, but I'm quite sure one day to come, our politicians and people, and a lot of people in Jamaica is going to wake up to the reality of this, of what I'm saying here. Having said that, let us forecast 26. The forecast in 26 is that life is going to be difficult, more difficult than what it was in 2025. Socio-economically, it's going to be tougher. So we may see price increases in all goods and services in the 3-4 times before 2026 is through. Now we are not talking about minimal 0.02% increase in goods and services. It's going to be pocket felt increases, margin increases. It's going to be pocket damaging margin increase we're talking about here. Recovering from this devastation of Hurricane Melissa, it's going to take the country another 2 years to really start to see real recovery. So 2076 is the first year. 2026 will be the first year. 2027 the second year. So maybe not until 2028 budget before we start to see the government can comfortably clearly tell us that there will be growth in our economy throughout the year. The BOJ a couple of days ago published something about NPL, non-performance loan, and they're trying to hold it to a certain percentage and all of these things. But I don't know what that has to do with the common man. I don't know what that has to do with affordability for people in the long run. Because if it doesn't benefit the common man, how is it gonna even impact on affordability for the common people of Jamaica? Because the common people don't even read these things. Because it's not one, it doesn't mean one thing to them not here nor there. I guess that was just published out there as an indication to give the nation, and for those who see it or those who figure they are that versed to understand these things, that the government is doing and will be doing everything they can to hold the economy or the decline of the economy to certain levels. But Mr. Prime Minister, we all know it's going to be difficult. We all know it's going to be tough. I can't put all the blame on you, sir, but Melissa has left us at devastation that we were not expecting, and you clearly said you did not plan for that expectation. Right? But now we're in it, sir. I do believe that you need to speak to the nation in your New Year's address as to how you're going to deal with this. How you will be able to make things affordable, more affordable for more Jamaicans than what occurred in 2025, the past year. Because I'm telling you, sir, if the economy I'm predicting that if the economy get worse, I won't hear from you, and we won't hear from the police department or from the crime statistic Department about the decline of crime. We won't hear from them for 6 months. I guarantee that. Because now you have the crime under control, are getting it under control. The time is now for you to implement your social economic infrastructure plans to make sure the country is affordable to all Jamaicans right across the length and breadth of Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to use this opportunity to say to all and appeal to all Jamaicans home and abroad. As again, let me summarize. Are we satisfied with what happens in 2025, the performance of our government in 2025? Are we satisfied of the performance of the government in year 2025? Ask yourself the question. Are you satisfied with the affordability of goods and services to Jamaican in year 2025? I surely am not. So ask yourself the question. And remember this, government will not move the needle willingly. It is the people who have to move the needle willingly. So for 2026, I'm appealing to all Jamaicans, both PNP supporters and Labour Rights supporters, PNP bloggers, JLP bloggers, independent bloggers, middle of the road bloggers. Let us use our platform to help educate people and call on Jamaicans to unify. Let us use our strength and our knowledge and our platform to call on the unification of all Jamaicans to realize that we will only get better if we come together. But if we live and continue to live the way we are living politically and socio-economically against each other, if the price of a bread is $400, even though it's $400, when we live singularly, when the nation is living apart, that price of bread is going to look like it's $1,000 each. We need to raise our voice, ladies and gentlemen, Jamaicans all over, not to appeal to government, not to beg government. It's not our duty, it's not our right. It is not an obligation to beg government or ask anything of government. Government was elected to govern all Jamaica. Even though more Labour Rights turn out to vote for the Jamaica Labour Party, and probably more independents and probably more people who were hanging on the fence undecided, the government was elected to govern for all Jamaica. Not for people to beg the government or ask the government or appeal to the government to do this or do that. So the responsibility lies with us as people to now start to raise our voice on platform, social media platform. You understand? Because some foolishness I see performance, well, comedy is also good for people's life because laughter is always good for you. But we can't keep focusing on all of these comedies all the time. We have to also now put our focus out there on government. I'm not going down the road to call government thief and call Andrew Holness this and Andrew Holness and the JLP that like I see some people do and all. No. Because I'm not coming here to make a damn fool of myself on the YouTube platform. Because I can't call a man a thief. I can't call a man a tell that a person doesn't like Jamaica or love Jamaica or is this or is that without the evidence. I'm only making myself look like a damn fool and I do that. And for those who are doing it, that's exactly what I'm saying to you. That does not help the country move forward. That tears the country down because it tears and divides people and push people away from each other. When we should be using this platform to bring the nation and bring people's thoughts and thinking together. We all should have the same goal. We should all have the same aim. It is for us to come together and raise our voices on social media platform and let government know exactly what we want them to do and what we want from them. And let them know the consequences of failure. Not for us to sit and listen to government, but for government now to sit and listen to us. This is my thing for 2026 I'm giving to all the people of Jamaica. You need to have a voice in the governance you're getting. So you can advocate on behalf of your communities and for the things you need in your community to create a better quality of life for all. For all. In your communities, in your family, in your communities, in your constituency, right across the length and breadth of Jamaica. Everybody needs to raise their voice. Not just some people in Kingston or some people in Mobile or some people in St. Catherine, but right across Jamaica, people now start to flood social media with demands from the government. Let them refuse to respond to your cry and see what happens to them. Of course, they're going to have a difficult time governing 2026. As I said, it may take 2 years, so maybe 2028 before you start to see some real growth in the economy. Having said that, I'd call upon the opposition, the Prime Minister right now to tell the nation exactly. Now that crime has gone down, so the potential for crime now is to get back up there. Because once it goes down, there's only one way it can go again, and it's up. What plans the government has in place to make sure you can maintain the decline of crime and to hold it where it is? Now, even if it continues to decline, but not at the rate it continues to decline, slowly but surely. What have you done, Mr. Prime Minister? What is the plan you have in place? You need to talk to the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to live 2026 the way you went through 2026, struggling and the hardships and the inaffordability that hits you all left, right, and center, you wonder what to do. You have $2,500 at home or $5,000 at home. You have 2 kids to go to school, tax fare, lunch money, 5 days a week, at the same time dinner and all that thing. What do you do as a person? You want to go back through this and sit and complain and bawl and beg and try to come up with some unconventional way of making life? It's up to you. Because government does nothing and is doing nothing to help to eradicate that, to alleviate your burden. Government is doing nothing to create affordability in your lives, but they are doing everything that when you turn to unconventional means of living to make sure kill you out. I can understand the balance. If people had equal opportunity at jobs, affordability, affordable housing, affordable education, affordable healthcare, affordable food prices and all of these things, and refuse to make use of it, and then turn to unconventional way of life, get rid of them government. But without that in place, what are you doing? You're just killing out the nation, sir. 2026 Jamaicans, we have to come together. We have to find a will. We have to find the survival will. We are smart people. Existentially, we have to find the will to come together. Let government know exactly what we are demanding of them. Let them know of how the people's vision and the people's mission statement presented to government, and watch them fail in the long run. Then we know exactly what to do, and we know exactly what kind of government we have in place. It is important for us as people. This is my call to all Jamaicans for 2026. Wake up, arise, raise your voices. Don't be afraid to call out your politicians. Now, because you vote for them and they're in power, don't be afraid to call them out. Call out the government, call out opposition if they're failing in your endeavor to have a better life, or in your quest to have a better quality of life than you're now living. Do not be afraid to raise your voice. It's important. It's your existence that is threatened. It is your existence that is called into question. And we as Jamaicans, we are existentially smart. And we want to use that smart to force government to do for us what we need them to do, and they should be doing for us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my perspective on the year. This is my perspective going forward. It's not much to do, because I'm not here to get into politics to tell anyone about government this and government that. I'm not into that kind of politics. I'm into the common sense type of politics, where we can either we agree with what is happening to us, or we don't agree with what is happening to us, and how we can reach out to government without leaving the comfort of your settee, or the comfort of the mango tree, or the comfort of the breadfruit tree in your backyard. We can reach out to government from wherever we are. social media gives us that opportunity. Let us use it. Let us get out there technologically to government and voice our opinion. Raise the awareness amongst them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel. I may not be back before the holiday, before the 2025 is over, but I just want to say blessed love to all Jamaicans, and I wish you all a prosperous and peaceful crime. Well, I can't say crime free because there'll always be crime, but a peaceful and a less more crime ridden society and a more affordable way of life in Jamaica for all. Over to you, Mr. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, and the government of the day. Blessed love all Jamaica.